Hey everyone, and welcome back to TechVibe. If you thought the Apple Watch Ultra peaked with last year's model, you might want to sit down. We have just gotten our hands on the most explosive leaks regarding the upcoming Apple Watch Ultra 4, and Apple is about to change the game entirely. For the first two generations and even the Ultra 3, we saw minor bumps. But the Ultra 4? This is the massive redesign we have been begging for since 2022. We are talking about a radically thinner body, a completely revolutionized 8-sensor array, brand new health features that could quite literally save your life, and one legendary feature returning from the dead that nobody saw coming. You will want to watch this entire video because the final leak we are going to talk about today completely changes the value of this watch, and you need to hear it before you buy any new wearable this year. Let's dive right into what makes the Apple Watch Ultra 4 the biggest tech event of 2026. Since the very first Apple Watch Ultra dropped, we have loved the rugged titanium vibe. It looks like a tank and it is built like one. But let's be totally honest, it is incredibly bulky. Wearing it all day is fine, but trying to sleep with a massive block of titanium strapped to your wrist for sleep tracking? It is not the most comfortable experience. Well, Apple has finally listened. According to multiple supply chain leaks, the Apple Watch Ultra 4 is receiving its first ever major chassis redesign. We are looking at a noticeably thinner and significantly lighter titanium build. Apple is shaving off the excess bulk without compromising that tough, rugged identity we all love. It will still feature the flat sapphire crystal glass to protect against shattered screens, and it will keep the raised protective lip. But by slimming down the overall profile, this watch transitions from being just an extreme sports tool into the perfect everyday watch. Imagine having all the extreme durability of the Ultra, but in a form factor that slips easily under a long sleeve shirt cuff, and is actually comfortable enough to wear in bed every single night. The dimensions are being carefully refined, making this the most wearable Ultra ever produced. But a thinner design is just the beginning. What is happening on the underside of this watch is what truly separates the Ultra 4 from anything else on the market. If you flip the current Apple Watch over, you are used to seeing the standard health sensors. But the Ultra 4 is completely ripping out the old architecture. Leaks confirm Apple is introducing an entirely new ring-shaped 8-sensor array. Why does this matter? For years, smartwatches have relied heavily on software algorithms to guess your health metrics when the sensor data was not perfect. Apple is done guessing. By doubling the number of sensor components on the back, Apple is moving away from algorithmic data interpretation and relying entirely on raw, ultra-precise hardware. This means your heart rate during high-intensity workouts, your blood oxygen levels, and your sleep stages are going to be more accurate than any consumer wearable we have ever seen. All of these new sensors are paving the way for the holy grail of health tracking. Blood pressure monitoring is finally arriving on the wrist. Apple has been developing this for years, and the Ultra 4 will feature a new hypertension notification system. Using those advanced optical sensors, the watch will detect if your blood pressure is trending dangerously high and alert you immediately, prompting you to consult a doctor. While it will not give you exact systolic and diastolic numbers just yet, having an ambient hypertension monitor running in the background 24/7 is an absolute game changer for proactive cardiovascular health. Now, before you ask, non-invasive blood glucose monitoring is not coming this year. The technology simply is not accurate enough yet. But hypertension tracking alone makes this the most important health upgrade in Apple Watch history. Now, let's talk about power, because all these new sensors would normally drain a battery in hours. Enter the S12 chip. The Ultra 4 is being outfitted with Apple's next generation silicon, and the focus this year is entirely on massive power efficiency gains. Last year, the Ultra 3 finally gave us a nice bump in battery life, but the Ultra 4 is about to push the boundaries even further. With the S12 chip intelligently managing background tasks and the new sensor array drawing less processing power, Apple has a choice. They can either give us insane battery life that pushes well past the current 72 hours in low power mode, or they can deliver the exact same industry-leading battery life, but in that much thinner, lighter body we talked about earlier. Knowing Apple, they are aiming for the perfect balance. You will get multi-day battery life that destroys the competition, all while wearing a device that feels half as heavy. This chip will also make the dynamic app grid in watchOS 27 feel incredibly fluid, but here's where things get genuinely crazy, and this is the leak I promised you earlier. For the past few years, the digital crown and the action button have been our main ways of physically interacting with the Ultra, but supply chain insiders are pointing to a secret project codenamed Apple Mesa, if you follow Apple. You know that Mesa is the internal codename for Touch ID, yes? Apple is reportedly testing Touch ID for the Apple Watch Ultra 4, integrating the fingerprint scanner directly into either the side button or the action button. Right now, unlocking your watch relies on typing in a passcode on a tiny screen. Integrating Touch ID would make authenticating Apple Pay transactions, unlocking secure apps, and accessing private health data perfectly seamless. Just rest your finger on the button and you are in. It is a premium feature that makes total sense for Apple's highest-end watch, adding a layer of biometric security that the standard series simply will not have. When you put all of these pieces together, the picture becomes incredibly clear. The Apple Watch Ultra 4 is not just a standard yearly update. It is the evolution of the Ultra line. We are getting a sleek, thinner titanium body that you can comfortably wear anywhere. We are getting a revolutionary 8-sensor health array with life-saving blood pressure monitoring. We are getting the ultra-efficient S12 chip and the massive wildcard of Touch ID returning to an Apple product. Apple is expected to unveil this absolute beast in September 2026 alongside the iPhone 18 lineups. As for the price, be prepared. With rising component costs and a complete hardware redesign, the standard $799 price tag might be a thing of the past. We could be looking at a slight price increase, but given the sheer amount of cutting-edge technology packed into this thinner frame, it might just be worth every single penny. If you are rocking a first-generation Ultra or holding out on upgrading your old watch, this is the exact model you have been waiting for. What do you guys think? Is the thinner design and blood pressure tracking enough to make you upgrade, or are you holding out for something else? Let me know down in the comments right now. If you found this video helpful and want to stay ahead of all the biggest Apple leaks, make sure you smash that subscribe button and hit the bell icon so you never miss an update from TechVibe. Drop a like on the video if you are hyped for the Ultra 4. Thank you so much for watching, stay tech savvy, and I will see you in the next one.